Welcome, friends, to Character Witness, a new feature on the channel where we take a closer look at characters in the movies. For our inaugural entry, we're gonna take a look at Boba Fett, that big-time bounty hunter and boss of blazing badassery. Or is he? No. The answer is no. He isn't. Boba Fett is a total poser. That got your attention, didn't it? Okay, let me explain. Boba Fett is a character who has this mystique, but one whose badass cred is totally based solely on his reputation. Words, not deeds. Not that we see. Think about it. Heroes like Princess Leia, Obi-Wan, Luke, Han Solo, Qui-Gon Jinn, Captain Kirk. We saw them being clever and kicking bad guy ass. Villains like Darth Vader, the Emperor, and Darth Maul. We see them in action, being badass bad guys capable of defeating the heroes. You can see why people either respected them or feared them. But Boba Fett, he just sort of stands there. He just kind of stands around. Just standing. Looking menacing. That's really about it. That's his specialty, just standing. Standing around. Looking badass. Now, I know there are books and comics where Boba Fett is probably a real badass, but I haven't read any of those. And yeah, he shows up on The Mandalorian, but again, not seen much of that. He's in the prequel movies, but only as a kid. He doesn't do much badassing there. So I can only go by what I know. And that's the 3 original Star Wars movies. And the holiday special. He is in the first Star Wars movie, believe it or not, but only if you watch the digitally molested versions from the 90s. And his one quick, brief appearance there doesn't make any sense. Boba Fett is supposed to be this badass bounty hunter, right? So why is he acting like one of Jabba's enforcers? That's beneath him. But there he is. His real introduction was in the second Star Wars movie, The Empire Strikes Back from 1980, and it was here where he gained his reputation for badassery, even though he doesn't do anything badass. Like, at all. Okay, he figured out Han's trick to get away from the Star Destroyers, I'll give him that. Then he tracks the Millennium Falcon to Cloud City and rats on the heroes so they can be captured. No, he doesn't capture them. Vader and the Stormtroopers do that. All Boba Fett does is drop a dime. Sure, he fires a few shots at Luke there, but misses what he aims at. Doesn't seem too badass to me. Okay, you can say he was under orders to lead Luke to Vader, but still, doesn't make him look like a master badass bounty hunter, does it? After that, he runs away, taking Han Solo, frozen in carbonite, back to Jabba the Hutt. Alright, he wants that money, so he takes his prize and goes. That's the smart move. Job done, right? Well, it's smart, but not badass. Then came Return of the Jedi in 1983, and finally, for the first time, we see a badass Boba Fett. Right there. That quick draw pose. That's it. The sum total of Boba Fett as a badass. Later in the movie, when he's called on to actually be a badass, he muffs it. Like, there's a Jedi loose with a lightsaber and he jumps into the fray. Why? Why would he do that? Again, he isn't one of Jabba's minions or anything. He's a bounty hunter for hire, so why not stand back, let the heroes get away, and then rake in more money if Jabba wants help to recapture them? But no, he just jumps right in there. No promise of a payday or anything. And he fires that cable at Luke. That cable seems to be his one gimmick, but Luke makes short work of that, and then his rocket pack malfunctions when he's hit randomly by Han Solo, who wasn't even trying to hit him, and Boba Fett comedically hits the side of the sand barge, and then winds up as Sarlacc Chow. That's it. That's Boba Fett in a nutshell. That's all we see. Okay. He's in an episode of the Star Wars Droids cartoon. He's kinda badass there, but winds up getting defeated by some kids like some Scooby-Doo villain. So where can we see Boba Fett being a badass for real? The Star Wars Holiday Special. That's right. The only place you'll see Boba Fett being the badass he's reputed to be is in an animated segment of the Holiday Special. And that isn't canon. Well, is it? There's a Hobson's choice for you. Anyway, in that, he works directly for Darth Vader, but instead of capturing Han, Luke, Chewie, and the droids, he just runs away. Had his chance, but runs away. Had the drop on them and everything. Well, now he's gonna have a whole show based around him that comes out in December. Will he finally get to be a badass? Or will Boba Fett blunder and become a bust again? If history is any indication, I wouldn't hold out any hope. The badass that never was. Boba Fett, a character whose whole reputation as a badass bounty hunter is bigger than any of his actual deeds, and yet he's still got the mystique of a big badass, and is still incredibly popular. Wish I had his PR team, I'll tell you that. Like I say, the Book of Boba Fett comes out this December on Disney+. You can see my review of Solar Crisis here, and down there, you can watch some other sci-fi movie reviews I've done. You take care, and I'll see you in the next one.